As part of the service kit, we will also need spark plugs, so let's sort out some spark plugs and do a quick new spark plug on the bike next.
You will know we've done a number of things to our motorcycle to get it back on the road. We've looked at the air filter, we've looked at the fuel tank, we looked at temporary auxiliary tank, but it's very important when you're getting to this stage that you start looking at your spark plugs, because they can tell you a lot about how your motorcycle is performing. So it's quite normally easy with these types of motorcycles to access the spark plugs. You'll see I was able to take them off with my longer option here, which comes as part of my kit for my Yamaha scooter. I did a Yamaha scooter rebuild, which you can probably check out separately. That was last year. This year we're doing this 42-year-old classic motorcycle. So I'm taking my spark plugs out. We're going to have a good look at the spark plugs and see what's going on, because you can normally tell by the end of the spark plug what is happening. I'll put you up a little chart or a link to the picture which actually gives you information about what to look for in your spark plug. It gives you an idea. I had a lot of carbon buildup, which meant it wasn't firing, but it was wet, so it meant it was getting fuel there. It's just not getting started. So that was interesting, and we do know why that was, because later on we will take the engine apart to find out what's going on. And keep an eye on these, and also get new spark plugs which are as manufacturer stated, like the numbers are correct. Also get yourself like a feeler gauge which lets you know if the gap is correct on the bottom of that. So when you're getting a spark, is it a good spark? So I've managed to change the spark plugs out. I did the quick check on the spacing on it. What that basically means is at the bottom of the spark plug there's like a little metal rod, and then it sparks against the actual spark plug, and you can check that out and see if that measurement is correct. Putting a bit of temporary fuel in my DIY auxiliary tank as we're testing this motorcycle, and the spark plugs are fairly straightforward to do. You basically unscrew them out, screw the new ones in, plug them up, and you're ready to go. So it's not too intense, but at least watching this happen is going to help you if you're thinking about doing this, and it's not as scary as it looks. Once you get into it, you got the right spanner to take the spark plug out, and you're being gentle with it and you're not dropping it, you should be fine. And doing your standard checks and keeping a tune with your motorcycle is always good. Doing your own upgrades and testing things. We will be doing the fuel. We will be doing the oil at some point as well, but that will be after we rebuild the engine, because you will know, as I was working on this motorcycle, one of the cylinders was working and one wasn't. I thought maybe spark plug related, ignition related, electrical related. However, it worked out that it was something to do with the piston rings, which we did a compression test on. So I did a separate video about that, so you can check that out. You probably haven't seen that yet, but you'll know this is a nice little project we got going on, and there's loads of videos coming out. So I'm hoping you're enjoying these videos. If you have any information or comments, let me know about them in the comments below. And I have got NGK spark plugs here, so they always tend to be better quality than the non-branded ones, and I've always used these, so I'm happy with them. With the spark plugs, you want to make sure you've got access to them and you're using the right spark plugs at the right time. I'm also checking the actual carburetors on this at the same time to make sure the fuel mixture, air mixture is doing well. I might do a separate video explaining that situation. But as we get this motorcycle up and running, it's kind of getting it to that point where it looks and sounds about right. We will do a lot more work on the tank and the fuel system and actually getting it sprayed up, so keep it tuned for that. Give it a little bit of rev. Thank you to everybody keeping progressed with my little project, and I'll see you on my next video, which you'll see on screen. We are working towards getting this bike on the road, so you'll see a preview of what's to come in the next video on screen now.
If you're enjoying this series, make sure to subscribe so you actually get notifications directly to your phone each time I load a new episode. I've got loads of videos planned for this bike when we get it back on the road, so it'll be good to have you along on the journey with me. Take care, and I'll see you on the next video right here.